Hello, everyone, and welcome to SmashBoxxTV Jonesboro 2020 Remix.
Well, do we want to call it the 2020 remix? Because 2020 Jonesboro is going to happen later.
Mm.
Let's just call it the Jonesboro Open remix.
All right, well, we'll do that. Of course, we would normally be in Jonesboro this very weekend, bringing you guys the action. Unfortunately, we all know that is not happening as we're seeing some postponements and some cancellations, and everybody just trying to stay safe and do their best as we fight through COVID-19. But we have a very, very special treat for you guys, and we've never done this before. This is a unique opportunity. This was... Well, if it goes well, we'll say it's SmashBoxxTV's great idea. If it doesn't, it was Johnny's idea.
I can live with that.
Eloquently break it down. I've struggled, even though I know exactly what we're doing. Why don't you break down exactly what we're going to see and get started with in a few minutes?
So the idea was originally to take a bunch of shots from players that we've seen play well at Jonesboro. So I went back and I looked at all of the different rounds we've streamed, and I found 4 or 5 players that had an ample amount of rounds. And I thought, oh, we can just grab random holes and throw it in like a real remix. After bouncing it off a few people, we thought, let's start a little simpler. Let's grab a hole one from each player from different years. So I downloaded all the hole ones, kind of cut them together. I believe I sent it to you as a sample. And I said, hey, how does this look? And it actually looked pretty good. So I thought, well, we're going to do it. Let's take each hole, each player from different years. So hole 2, you're going to see from 4 or 5 different, not 5, I'm sorry, because Jonesboro hasn't quite been going on that long, from like 3 or 4 different years from the different players. So hole 2 might be 2018 for Simon, who had a huge headwind. We might get double G on hole 2 with a huge tailwind. It's going to be kind of luck, random draw. We're going to keep score live here while we go along. And we're going to be doing a couple giveaways as well tonight. Skipace.com, the guy who runs that, has been very generous to us. That's me. Anyway, we were going to give away a bunch of gift certificates for Skipace. Well, thanks to Infinite Discs, now suddenly we don't have events to give away gift certificates for. What better place than tonight to give away some gift certificates to Infinite Discs? We've broken these up into 3 6-hole chunks. So we're going to check in with everybody after hole 6 and after hole 12. We'll do some giveaways, and probably at the end of the day, we'll do some giveaways for everybody. And at that point, I think we're going to do some super chat giveaways for people that specifically super chat. And we'll do a few just chat board chats. Probably the YouTube chat if you're watching on other ones. It's hard for us to keep track of 3 different ones, so YouTube tends to be the one that seems to work out best for us for that.
All right. So in a way, what I think I heard you say is there's going to be an Infinite Disc stimulus package signed by SmashBoxxTV.
It will.
We're in the memo.
I had to hold back for an extra couple days to sign them myself, but we do want to give a shout out to Infinite Discs. Even though they didn't know they were helping us tonight, they are helping us tonight, and I'm sure they're good buddies of mine, and they would be happy to do this.
All right. Well, and we see you guys getting active already in the super chat. I think without further ado, we should bring in our co-commentator and one of our featured superstars here in the remix. Looks like he's ready to go. Simon Lizotte.
Am I on?
You are on.
Yes.
You're live on Smashbox Jonesboro Remix Saturday night party.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm happy to join, and I brought the right beverage this time, and I'm ready to enjoy an hour of who knows what's going to happen disc golf footage.
And I do want to make a point that I don't know who won. Terry doesn't know. Simon doesn't know. I cut all the shots together. I'm really hoping there's not a tie at the end, because that's going to make things really weird.
You're going to have to scurry to find playoff
I'm
footage.
going to have to scurry to find some playoff holes. And these were all randomly picked. I literally went to random.org. I labeled all the rounds. I hit random, and I pulled from those. So whatever comes up, comes up. There was no, trust me, if you know Smashbox, you know there's no pre-planning.
Simon, let me ask this now. Knowing we have your footage to pull from over multiple years, how do you feel like your odds are? How do you feel about the performances you've had? I mean, clearly you've been on lead card that we even have footage of you, but how do you feel like your odds are here today?
Man, I remember 3 or 4 years ago, I got second there. I was just behind Ricky, who was shredding that course. And the last time I played, definitely top 10 somewhere. So I was doing all right. I had a couple. I remember hole 10 being my complete nemesis hole. So if you have the right rounds there for me playing hole 10, then I might get lucky and pull it off.
See, and that is honestly the beauty of this is you have no idea, nor do I, as to what shots were pulled. So there may be a little hesitation or cringe factor as soon as you recognize maybe the year or what round it was for you. But this should be a lot of fun.
Hopefully you remember what you were wearing, all that good stuff, so you can really cringe that entire hole.
Yeah, I matched.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And of course, I'm going to quickly recognize we got a couple super chatters in Chaser, Steven, Ryan Pilcher, and Jason. I think Jason's looking for a hello from you out to Minnesota there, Simon. You got any shout outs to Minnesota? Like Jason?
Total shout outs to Minnesota. I was just talking to Kale like literally 5 minutes ago about the Majestic, if that's still happening, if sanctioned or not sanctioned, because I really wanted to make my first appearance at the Majestic this year. Really looking forward to that, obviously, but now it's all up in the air. But Kale says, yeah, man, it's still happening, and he hopes I can make it, even the circumstances, but he understands if I can't make it, obviously. But shout out to Minnesota, and I can't wait to play my first tournament over there.
Awesome. And quick shout out as well, as we're saying, Kale opening his new course today at the Preserve. Piece of property he recently purchased. They worked really hard to get it together, and of course, adhering to all social distancing and other regulations within Minnesota. He was opening his course today, and I'm sure it was flooded and inundated. So, another piece of private property, maybe a pro tour stop in the future.
That could be a possibility.
All right, Simon, are you ready to see what happens in Jonesboro?
I've been ready ever since I've heard of this idea, so I've been waiting anxiously, and I'm ready for sure.
All right.
One last note before we start. Because all this footage had commentary already put under it, I've removed all the audio. So if you're probably not going to hear the chains, the wind, some of the other stuff. It did have like 3 different years, I believe, 3 different sets of commentary. So we're killing that. You're just going to get the dulcet sounds of Simon and Terry, and maybe I might chime in on occasion.
Simon, don't make this
Let's
political.
do it.
Come on.
All right. Let's go.
All right, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jonesboro Open Remix. Simon, I'll let you take the lead here. Give us some whole previews.
Well, first off, we have a great stacked card with Ricky Wysocki, Kevin Jones, Garrett Gurthie, and myself. All bombers off the tee, which this course requires. Hole 1 is one of the sickest opening holes I think we have on tour. A valley shot, kind of, almost long enough to be a par 4, but with the right wind, I'd say at least 30 to 40% of players can reach it with no problem. And Garrett completely shows off and goes past the basket.
Next up, Kevin Jones from Arkansas. And it looks
this
like
is
it's
a different year now. Is that right?
Yeah, it looks like it is. I was going to say it's definitely a little bit chilly as Kevin's sporting long pants and a long sleeve shirt, and looks like a pretty effective tee shot.
One of the things you can notice is the graphics up top will tell you if it's a different year.
Oh, I think my picture is blocking the graphics on my screen.
All right, we'll see if we can.
There's an X you can click to turn that off on the bottom. There's those little highlighted things.
Oh, I can just move it. Oh, okay.
And here's Simon with his hands up in the air, wondering what in the world happened. Wind turnover, maybe?
Yeah, I think this was one of the clips we saw as a little preview last week. And I definitely had the most wind to deal with there, but Ricky's rocking a beanie, so he has the coldest conditions.
Looks like a tailwind as I saw the flags over behind him. Not a bad shot, right about circle's edge, maybe just outside of it. You barely got through that tree.
This is so confusing. I'm struggling so hard mentally to comprehend what's happening, but I don't remember any of this. This footage, I'm wearing dude clothing, so that has to be a long time ago.
And now we have Double G who's gone past the basket. I see a little bit of a headwind on that flag.
I think most of Simon's footage is around 2017. There might have been a 2018 round in there.
Oh, 2017.
All right, and here's
I also had
Wysocki.
the elevated basket, as you've noticed.
Oh, well, some of you have it, some of you
Wow.
don't. That doesn't seem fair, but either way, Ricky finds the bottom of the basket, the non-elevated basket this year. That's a great point.
That's funny.
It is.
And
As you-
Kevin Jones is just so parked.
Yep. And I guess Paul McBeth's going to tap out with you guys this time, but and there we have it. The
Nice.
park job by Kevin Jones. All right, set up hole 2 for us, Simon. Sorry.
Hole 2, a tricky par 4, tight off the tee. Pretty wide open landing area, though, where it doesn't really matter too much where you are. And then it's all about committing to that upshot, which is way longer than it looks and feels. So you really got to put a good move on the second shot. And off the tee, it's just make sure you hit the initial gap. And that is absolutely crushed. And that's the sweet spot right there.
Kevin layers up for
Kevin.
hole 2.
And changed his shirt already.
Yep. Added a layer.
The best part is Kevin tends to, even during the same round that I watched, he takes the shirt on and off. So he's completely going to throw everyone off.
Oh, looks like
I changed to white and a blue hat. I love it.
How do you feel about
That
this
looks
shot?
ideal, though.
Oh, that looks like a
I
pretty
think that's
good
the
shot.
same year, different round. Yeah, that's just so fun. Oh boy, this is all random generated, right?
Yeah, Rick was wishing for another option on this one. That's for sure. His forehand looks like he fights over to the other side, so now he needs this to try and get up and down to save his par. How tough is it to make that uphill throw like that?
Yeah, Ricky was so far back still that it's a full crush from there, and you have to throw it on the perfect flex line to get the distance. Basically, he threw a really good shot there, but he's still almost outside circle 2. So if he can scramble a par from there, that would be very, very annoying. Typical Ricky.
Scrambling. Now, that's a Glow Rock 3, I believe, from Double G. Is that what that pink disc is that he throws a lot?
Oh.
Or maybe just a Glow Rock? I know it's been a
What was
while
he
since you've been on the
throwing? I
course
don't
now,
know.
Simon.
Kevin throws that one a little bit short. Simon, you've put yourself in a perfect position. What do you do?
Wow, that was bad. I believe that was a first run PD. It could be totally wrong, but that's what uphill footing does. It changes everything. But wait, somehow Garrett gets to putt first now?
Yeah, well, he's just outside the circle. He's got a little left to right. About
Not
the same
ideal.
distance as Kevin.
It's kind of casual, go with
Yeah,
the
flow
flow.
play.
It's flow
Yeah.
play, it's
On all the greens.
not all the
Ready
editing is
golf. I like
perfect.
it.
Not quite as much win for Kevin now.
This is to go 2 under par. And for the lead. Big moment. Oof. Kevin Jones, being obviously an Arkansas homeboy, probably loves being on these feature cards in his home state. I wish I had something like that.
And Simon, after you had such a
Easy.
great drive, it's unfortunate that you're looking at a par. And Rick's trying to
That's happened to me so many times.
Rick's trying to save his par, and looks like Rick's gonna not benefit from the random generator today.
Rick's going to probably tap this in for bogey, huh?
3 tap-in pars. Ricky tap-in bogey. Not much movement here. Ricky comes back to even if he can make this.
Oh, You thinking
Nice.
about calling a foot fault there from the other card? All right, hole 3. What are you doing?
Hole 3 is another one of these longer holes, really dependent on the wind here, how this plays. And I'm sure we all 4 will have different winds. But it is right between a fairway and a distance driver. I think most of us are going to throw overstable fairway drivers. Oh, Kevin throws like a straight one. I recommend just throwing an overstable driver, hang it out wide right, and try to like just stick it right next to the basket. I think this is a PD2 actually. It's not flying like a PD2 though, but I think my pink disc used to be a PD2.
Yeah, and you're just
That's a
about
good
to
shot.
circle's edge. Is it fair to say, I know some of these shots are obviously from a few years ago even, but is your bag probably been more consistent than anyone else's bag throughout all the years, as we see a park job by Double G?
Yeah, Garrett did exactly what I said. Just hang it out wide right and let it swing in. I mean, my bag, the molds stay pretty consistent, yeah, but Discmania also doesn't have as many options as these other companies. So, but my discs go out of my bag in and out like basically every day.
From circle 2. Kevin also looks to be just maybe inside the circle. Not much wind to speak of. Oh, yeah.
Money putt. I was expecting a replay there.
Yeah, Johnny, we need to get on the replays.
That's next level.
I take a birdie there too. Ricky, another par, and Garrett is parked for birdie. So Kevin Jones running with an early lead. Off to hole 4, which has changed a bit slightly over the years, but it's another par 4, super low ceiling tee shot. Unless you yank it out to the right, you can see over that branch there is a gap. And if you take that route, you put the OB kind of more in play if you don't throw it hard enough or on the right angle. But I like that I have the box here, and that was just really far, really right. And that's pretty much a good spot. Doesn't really matter.
I hope they're all getting a
land,
good
as long
wind
as you're
read
not
from
OB.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin definitely adjusted from what he saw from you.
He also doesn't have an elevated basket again.
I mean, for many
I'm
years,
sure Garrett
we've
is going to choose.
I was going to say, we've talked about
What's that?
how possibly to even things out from our pros to our super pros. And maybe a basket, change up in between shots. Maybe that's an answer.
I like that idea.
Oh.
Whoa, that might be OB. Oh, he got kind of lucky there, hitting a couple branches and being short of the OB. And where he is now, it's actually still attackable for someone with Garrett's arm. He can maybe still attack the green to get a birdie from back there.
Ricky.
That's the coolest shirt so far.
I guess that's a side note. We get to see the various wardrobes and choices throughout the years from all of these players.
We can call it the fashion evolution.
Yep.
Or maybe a couple different girlfriends out there.
Okay, you said it.
I just threw it out there. Wow, I'm wearing my knee brace. So this is 18? I don't remember. I can't believe I don't remember. I see Terry Miller spotting in the background there.
Yeah, just going to say, I love calling the shots from both places, myself and Steve Dodge, as you just barely missed that one.
Wow, so I was putting just a layup putt for eagle there.
I'll give you a little pan back, and Double G. Is he going with? Is that the pink mid that we see from him?
So this is Garrett's second shot, right? Yes. So he's still far away. Yeah, he's going way high. That's definitely a distance driver he threw there. And if you can get this inside, wow. Yeah. You can just lay up a putter from the tee if you can do that on your second shot.
Rick has no wind or elevation. Solid
Easy.
putt.
Wait, this is Kevin and Ricky's same year.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like it was. Seppo's going to join for a moment. But he's out of there. He said, I had enough of you guys.
I think he just forgot his disc back there. He had to come back a hole.
That's what it was. Yeah, he had to just come. He left his mini there.
Garrett, that was a sick birdie. I haven't seen that one yet.
And you also
Looks like a star frame.
Yeah, walk away with the birdie, making it look easy. Hole 5, what a beautiful and demanding shot this is.
Yeah, a lot of options here. This is one of the trickier holes where things can go wrong. This is the hole that leads up to if your round is going to be really good or decent or bad, because this is a mental hole where you can go for it hyzer, you can lay up hyzer, you can go for it straight, you can lay up straight, and it's definitely a mind game, this hole. And if you're smart and you just want to be clever, then you just lay up. But as I know myself, I'm probably not choosing the layup here. I'm choosing the straight aggressive route. That's definitely a S-line PD2, and that looks like a great line.
I think you kissed that tree.
Hit that tree.
Yeah.
Should be safe though, if I remember correctly. Is that a driver?
Oh, and Kevin doesn't like it. Oh, but he clears just barely. It looks like he cleared it.
Wow.
Inbounds, and Double G is in disbelief as he's watching.
Yeah, he's going to just try and line up exactly what Kevin did there. Oh, it looks like he's lining up straight.
Oh, this is just sick.
That's like way past the basket, it looks like. Oh, what? That was so unlucky. That's OB. Yeah, that puts you straight to the drop zone. So Garrett, who was 2 under, is going to have to lay up and take a bogey here, best case scenario. Unlucky, you can say. Oof, almost threw it in, though.
Little standstill by Ricky. We don't see those too often, do we? He just seems so much more comfortable with almost like a little forehand flick as we get the Ricky smile and turn away.
Yeah, Ricky, he knows that he played that hole just boringly, but you got to smile it off when you know, yeah, I know, just lay up, lay up.
Some know better than others, though. Is that fair, Simon?
Yes, of course. My favorite circle's edge putts.
Simon, no. What was going through your head?
That was an important moment there. I could have pulled ahead a bit with Kevin, but I remember that one. It hit the front cage, stood up sideways, and then rolled through the chains outside and flopped over the basket again. So I counted that one as a spit out mentally to feel better about myself.
The beautiful hole number 6. Are you thinking ace run all day here?
Yeah, and no. This hole lines up perfectly for a sidearm. And my sidearm is just not confident enough to really feel like I'm going to ace run it. I'm more please get it in bounds and commit to throwing it low and straight at it, because you have a great backdrop. But you can also just choose a putter or a mid-range and throw it straight at it. Should be routine, but if there's water and an island and OB all around the basket, it always tricks your mind. And then if your mind is tricked, your body's also tricked. So that makes it's a mental game.
And Ricky finding himself on
yeah.
the island, inbounds.
If you have any what of a decent sidearm, that's probably what you're going to choose here, just to have the most consistent chance of hitting the island. That's got to get down. Not through that gap. Oh my.
Oh my
That's 2 holes in a
goodness.
row. He got so unlucky.
Look at that as it just finds the opening there.
It looked like it was going to stop and then just picked up speed at the very end and slid out.
Oh, that is the worst
Wow.
luck.
That's like a reason to call the course designer and start complaining.
Yeah. And you are so confident, ready to go with this forehand.
Hey, that looked pretty good, actually, surprisingly.
And it looked like
Parked
it didn't slip out. Slip out through the little gap there. That is heartbreaking to see that happen, because it was such a good shot, and he literally just had that 3-foot area that is open so that the players can walk through there. That's the whole reason why it's open there, but that is really unfortunate.
Yeah,
don't
Garrett
know if that
definitely
gap
was
is
not
still
looking
there.
for that. Oh, yeah, I don't know either.
So double
Settle
G.
for another bogey.
Yeah, yep.
Dang. Man, Ricky's been like almost falling over on these putts.
I was just gonna say, it looks like he's been visiting your refrigerator, apparently, on some of those putts.
You know, you got to put all your body behind it to make sure it actually drops in sometimes.
And double G with another bogey after the penalty. You have the birdie look, and that one stays in.
Ooh. Squeeze
gotta
it
feel
over
good.
that rim.
We'll see if you can carry that momentum to the next hole.
Exactly. Yeah. After that missed putt on the last hole, I definitely connected on that one. Made sure to give it enough height this time.
All right, Simon. So after 6 holes, we're gonna. Johnny, can you give me the scorecard here again? Sorry.
Oh, the scorecard. Kevin Jones is at 5 under par. He's shooting really well today.
Shredding.
Yes, he is today.
Ricky Wysocki at 2 under, Simon Lizotte at 3 under, and Double G sitting at even. He's had some bad luck so far.
Yeah. Bad luck on the course, bad luck with random.org. Things just are not going his way this year. Simon, so I do want to just quickly recap. You've mentioned a couple times, of course, you throw literally thousands of shots in a year, let alone sometimes maybe in a matter of a couple weeks between practice and tournament play. Do you feel like that's a good maybe gift to have, that you kind of have forgotten about shots? Do you have a short mental memory when it comes to the shots that you've thrown? And do you feel that's good or bad?
My memory is so bad. I don't remember what I shot in Waco just a couple of weeks ago. And yet remember what I did 2 years ago. I don't know why. Maybe it's like a defense mechanism of my mind and body to like forget about all that happened, just to like stay more focused on what's ahead of me. But even if I try to remember and really think about it, it's completely blank. And if I rewatch it now, it's so crazy how it doesn't even feel like it's me. Like, I don't remember even being there and doing that. It just feels like a different person, which I don't know if that's normal or not. And I don't know what caused that.
Well, here's
yeah.
I mean, I'll say this quickly. I can understand if you don't recall a few of these card-mate shots. Now, that much I can I can understand if you've forgotten a few of these guys' shots. But, yeah, it does seem it's fresh.
You know who needs some love right now? Double G. So here's what I want everyone in the chat to do. If you want to be eligible to win our first giveaway, just type GG. That's all you got to type in the chat. Anything more, you're probably not going to be eligible. Anything less, you definitely won't be eligible. We're going to use that to give away one of our first gift certificates to Infinite Disc. So just GG in the chat. We will make sure I'll do a drawing, and we'll give away a gift certificate to Infinite Discs for that.
Now, just the 2 letters, GG.
Right next to each other.
Not like your auntie or your nana, GG, like GI or GEGE or whatever. Just GG is what you need to put in the chat. Jason was the first to do so, so we see him eligible. So we appreciate it, guys. Go ahead, put that in the chat board right now. As we said, we even quick shout out. Luke Turnbull is tuned in and is watching disc golf from Australia at the moment. So So glad to see it. We got U-Disc Hype Man out there, Chris Cobb from Arizona. Lots of great regulars out there taking in all the action as that chat board lights up.
You can put it in multiple times, but it only counts it once. So just so everybody knows, you can spam it. It's not going to work. And I think actually if you spam it, the Nightbot, which is our automated moderator, might just knock you out.
Ooh, so don't do that. All right, Simon, as we're on here on intermission, we're unsanctioned. The remix version this year is actually unsanctioned. We're not a Pro Tour stop. We're not an A tier. We're not a major, SmashBoxxTV major yet. So you can enjoy some beverages out on the course or in the studio. What are you consuming tonight?
If anyone's into beer and knows anything about the New England beer scene and about Boston, then, I mean, Trillium Brewing is obviously one of the staples, one of the most famous and best and biggest breweries here when it comes to craft brewing, at least. And wow, Avery was here just like 2 months ago. We designed a little disc golf park a bit south of Boston, and Avery, he had to, I think we visited 4 breweries in 5 days. So and Trillium was one of them, and I'm hooked.
Okay.
In a good way, not in a sick way.
Yeah, not in a you're pounding 30 of those a day and can't get up the next day kind of hooked.
Very rarely.
All right.
All right, we have our first winner.
All right.
Our first winner is Corey Jansen. Corey Jansen, who typed GG in there. Corey, if you could do me a favor, reach out to myself or Terry Miller on Facebook. Send us a private message. We'll make sure to get that to you as soon as we can. We've got some gift certificate codes from Infinite Discs that we'll send out your way.
Yeah, and all of you, we're not sure how we're going to do it just yet, but if you're super chatting in any capacity, we're going to kind of almost treat those like unofficial raffle tickets
at the end of the event, because it'll be easier for us to have a little bit of time to accumulate those. And I think we're going to do a special giveaway for that. We talked about it afterwards. We talked about right now we're in what they call a pandemic, if you haven't heard the word. Okay. And a lot of people are practicing their putting, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to give away a 5-pack of whatever set of putters you want. Baseline plastic only. And we will order those for you and have them drop shipped to your house. So whoever wins the super chat is going to get a 5-pack of their favorite putters delivered to their house or wherever you want it delivered to.
They can get better at putting, just like you're doing, Simon.
Yeah, putting is my favorite thing to do, obviously.
All right. Are we ready to get back to the action? We've there was a backup on hole 7, so that's why we had to wait. Clearly, this backup took place, so that's why it was great. We could check in with our viewers out there. We do invite you, please go out and share the link, give it a like. That helps with all the algorithms and other people to randomly come across it. But share the link so that they can enjoy the last 2/3 here of the 2020 Jonesboro Open Remix.
Let's get underway.
I don't think I've ever parred hole 7, so I think I'm on the safe side on this one.
All right. Well, we're about to find out. Hole 7, par 4, 615 feet with this blind. It's a blind shot. You're throwing uphill. Talk about putting, the disc on that angle, that you have to throw uphill to a blind spot, Simon. Yeah,
the tricky thing on this hole is that you only have the length of the tee pad to work. You can see perfect example here, Garrett almost falling off because this huge step up to the tee pad, you can't take the run up you would want for such a big shot. So you really got to use that small run up that you have to generate all this power to get up this hill and as far down the fairway as possible. No real restrictions of where to land. You just want to basically give it all you can physically throw that disc. And put yourself into position. The second shot could be like an easy sidearm or even a putter upshot if you get it down there. And I think all of us who can throw pretty far just take our favorite distance driver and throw it as hard as we can.
I know this is a funny question to ask you, Simon, but who's the shortest arm on the card here?
Probably Rick.
Okay, calling him out.
Just yeah, right. Look at this headwind I have.
Yeah. Seemed like it really picked up after those other guys threw.
Yeah, no sun, but at least it's warm enough to wear just shorts and t-shirt.
And Kevin Jones with a standstill forehand. Oh, one of the
Oh
Guardians.
no. But that's still on circle's edge, so I still expect him to grab a birdie there. And Ricky, same tree, different year, same tree. But
Different spot on the tree.
those trees are grabby. I'm
You've
throwing
got to
a
love the
pink.
position you're in here, don't you?
Oh, it's a bad spot right in front of that branch. Pink, P line P2, D line P2. And that's also bad. Wait, did I actually ever par this hole? I don't remember.
And double G with the forehand, putting it right next to the
Yep.
pin. And the rest of you have a little bit of work to do, all about circle's edge.
Yeah, circle's edge, this is Kevin's specialty, so this is going to be all over it. Oh, slipped out right side. Just not the right year. Ricky changed to Innova discs.
Yeah,
Oh
I
boy.
mean, he wasn't feeling it mid-round, and he thought a sponsorship switch might be might be worth it.
He's still feeling things out. He may
That'd
go
be
back.
legendary. Oh, I remember this putt. Now I remember it was so bad and it went in. I was ashamed. That would be legendary though. One day let's just do like switch sponsors mid round.
So I believe Simon, no, Double G and Simon were the only two birdies there, huh?
Looks like it. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, hole 8. This is a must get or no?
Oh, I've made a lot of mistakes on this hole in the 2 years I've played here. There's really, it all depends on the wind, as all these holes do in the wide open. Total sidearm hole. I've been throwing also like these crazy rollers, which I think this is going to be a D-line FD roller, which is the flippiest disc I have. And yeah, if you don't catch it on the right angle, this can happen, which is 90 feet past the basket, and no one's ever thrown a disc there. But I'm sure all the other guys, maybe not Garrett, but I think Kevin and Ricky will throw sidearms.
Yeah, it looked like it rolled all the way into 2018's action.
Yeah, that was not lucky.
Rick of the big forehand finds himself. Now, the danger there is if he misses that putt and finds himself on that just on the edge of the woods, that's really difficult to get back out of it because there's so many, low-hanging branches and trees.
Yeah, obviously you don't want to throw it into the tree, but Kevin has the elevated basket, which makes that putt way trickier. Same spot as Ricky, but Ricky doesn't have the basket to worry about. So I see Ricky Wysocki here at a great advantage, and Garrett is throwing a touch shot turnover. I mean, if anyone I think could do it consistently, it's Garrett.
Wow.
Almost acing it. Wow.
Yeah, this hole comes in at 324, and he threw that had to fly at least 450 in terms of overall distance up and down.
The one positive thing about throwing such a bad tee shot is you don't even have to think about running the putt. There's always a positive takeaway when I just know that there's not even a point on trying to be crazy.
Pretty solid approach shot. That should be an easy par.
Yeah, par is not great. I would say probably at least 40% of the field can will birdie this hole, so a par is not great. Ricky off again. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. It is not his year.
Yet.
Now, Ricky had the most rounds to pull from. He's traditionally played pretty well here. He's been on a lot of lead cards.
Oh, and Kevin. Wow, Garrett might gain a stroke, and he really needs it. Oh my gosh. None of us birdied this short hole. This is one of the shortest holes on the course. And Ricky's has to still scramble for par.
Yeah, I feel like you guys aren't really vibing off one another right now. Normally you guys kind of, take from each other's cues and such.
I know, the dynamic in the group is really throwing us off. Great save, though.
Yeah. To work hard for it. We're going to see you enthusiastically tap in. And OTB dis.
Pars.
Go ahead.
4
I like
pars
that.
on hole 8. It's not great, no.
I like that on one side of the elevated basket, it's round, and the other side, it's a pyramid.
Yeah, it's
That's a new shape for the Pro Tour.
Mines are playing tricks on you. Hole 9 is so tough as you guys try to close out the front 9. The double humps, and then kind of just is a swooping long dog leg to the left. And it's all about position on this first tee shot, isn't it?
Yeah, the green is also kind of what makes this hole tricky. The green is the basket's on a pretty steep slope with kind of like woods, and even if you go way too long, there's a little pond. So getting the right angle of attack to the green and how your disc lands on the green is really key. And because any putt outside the circle in that hole can result into big problems very quickly. But the tee shot is really fun. Like the trees on the left and right really shape a really cool shot here. I kind of wish I was a lefty on this hole because you would have way more room to throw huge flicks. As a righty, you kind of have to throw a hyzer flip shot. But if anyone can do it, it's Garrett. It looks to be pretty far.
Yeah, anytime you're throwing over the catch cameraman's
Wow.
head by that much, you've definitely put a move on it.
Look at all those leaves. Wow, I think Garrett just threw the best shot that I've ever seen on this hole.
And looks like yours got a little bit hung up. Definitely not getting way past the catch cameraman as we saw on Garrett's. And Kevin seems to take
Still a decent shot.
A much lower approach than what is that he just doesn't want to put the disc up in the air like you guys?
Yeah, I think Kevin is just a bit more conservative. He just tries to throw like a little line drive down the middle, make sure he hits that gap. He pulled it a bit wide there. He's still in position to attack here. He's actually so far back that he doesn't have to worry about the angle that much. He just has to make sure he gets it there, which kind of makes things easier sometimes if you have less to worry about. And that's going to be in a spot where it's probably pretty safe layup for a par. Kevin Jones leading, though, so I can watch what Garrett does here, who's 100 feet closer to the basket than me. And then I can throw my upshot and hopefully catch up to Kevin.
Yeah, and I feel like Kevin really prepped for this particular round more than most.
Well, okay, Garrett wasn't where I thought he was. He was not. I thought he was on top of that hill there, but he's in the spot where a lot of the spiked hyzer upshots come in, and that's a death putt.
To be fair, I did try to arrange these kind of by distance. That not always the case, as we've seen, but.
And Simon, as you're lining up
you did great.
Your shot, I want to reiterate, somebody came into the board and they're like, we have no idea what's going on. So just to kind of quickly refresh this as we're watching Simon's get up to the pin. Nice shot inside the circle. These are various shots from the last 3 or 4 rounds of Jonesboro that are taken from our lead card. So you are seeing different shots of different years from different rounds, all put together to make a singular round. So that's what's happening, hence the remix. And that's why you may see Ricky from 2018 round 1, and you may see Ricky 2018 round 3, but it could be on different holes at any different time.
Yeah, it's my brain is not really understands what's going on. Ricky changing shirts, changing sponsors mid-round. It's just been all over the place. Hard to really commentate and understand what's going on if you're not prepared and practiced in this. But it's definitely something very entertaining and fun to watch.
That's why we brought you in. We figured of all the people that could do this, and it would be you, Simon.
Okay, I'm trying. I'll get better on the back 9.
You were one of our top 5 picks.
Oh, thanks.
You were our first. Come on. Ricky from outside the circle where he's a specialist.
If that doesn't roll, it's fine, but it's always scary here on this slope. And this putt Garrett has here is actually one of my favorite putts in disc golf, just slightly downhill, kind of scary behind the basket, so you have to fully commit or you're going to be punished. And I just love the pressure and love when it just goes straight in. And that was like in between. That seemed like he didn't fully commit and was a bit too scared. You can never be scared. That was a sick putt.
Kevin Jones picks up another birdie.
Seems like the homeboy's doing quite well. Fair to say he has home course advantage here.
Yeah, I can't believe he still birdied after that tee shot. That's unbelievable. Ricky with another par. Man, Ricky must have really gotten unlucky with the randomization of his shots here, because only 2 under through 9.
What do you feel like is a good round out here? Do you recall?
I know that you got to shoot double digits. I think like 11, 12, 13 under was really solid. What's the course record? Did anyone ever pop like a 16 or something crazy?
We're about to see it. No.
That would be hilarious. All right, we're going to move into the back half of the course. We move over to hole 10, 360 feet, almost every year playing to an elevated pin. And this one kind of bends from left to right. And you must be feeling pretty confident if you're thinking about a forehand. No? Okay.
Well, I'm 5 under, and I'm beating Ricky by 3, so I'm very confident at this point. And I have the tee box. Oh, I'm throwing it as FD here, trying to keep it low. And that's definitely one of my better shots on this hole. This hole has been ruining my rounds and tournaments out here. So that was not bad. Death putty, though, so hopefully I remember to lay that one up.
And that looked low out of Ricky's hand. I love the forehand if you have it. I mean, I think it just plays so natural rather than forcing kind of that, intermediate or late turnover. I love the forehand shot here if you've got the power for it.
It's definitely a sidearm hole, but it requires a lot of power. I mean, this is almost 350 feet, dead straight with a low ceiling. I also feel like it plays a bit longer than that.
At this point, Simon, in the round, are you worried about anybody from the second card?
Or are you just unsure of how they're playing?
Depends if Macbeth is on second card, and depends what year.
And some deliberation here by Double G. He's not sure what year or what shirt it is. And it looks like he's going with the glow rock.
Throwing a mid-range on this hole seems crazy to me. Oh, he's going the high route. I think I had too many leaves to go that route.
And it didn't quite get the carry. Although it looked like he had enough power. It just maybe got beat down at the last moment. And now, you talked about this earlier. If you're in a bad position, sometimes that's a blessing because you just say, okay, I'm just going to lay this up, and you're not even tempted to run at it. And we know Ricky wants to run it if he can.
Yeah, he's only 2 under. He better run it.
Wow. So disciplined, Simon. So disciplined.
I know. I mean, after watching Ricky lay up.
What was your caddy saying to you at that point?
Go for it. Johnny McRae on the board.
You and Rick both tapping in multiple times.
Another Johnny. That's funny.
Star par on the hole.
I think Ricky shook his head in every single clip.
I think Ricky's watching it and shaking his head.
Hi, Rick. How you doing out there, buddy? All right, what are you trying to do on hole 11?
throw a huge hyzer. Actually, in some of these years when they didn't have the Mando yet, I think I found a sneakier route that went way out left, and I don't remember if this is going to be the one. Probably not. But the obvious play, anyone would throw the hyzer. That looked like a hyzer, right? I can't tell. Yeah, definitely a hyzer. Pretty wide open landing zone, and from there's a little pitch, sidearm, or turnover with a putter. This is kind of one of those holes where you're like, you better get this one.
Kevin's running out to see how much it's cleared, and yeah, I mean, can you ask for a much better shot than that?
No, we're all looking to be in the sweet spot here. We'll just grab our fastest, most overstable distance drivers and throw them high and hard, and they will all spike in right at that landing zone. I would say this is one of the easier tee shots on the course.
Yeah, big power hyzer playing to a relatively large landing zone. You should be feasting on this every round, every year, every outfit.
Wow, that was probably the best 4 tee shots we've seen yet on this round, on the REMIX round. Was that a Sonic?
How do you feel about getting the
likely.
eagle here? How do you feel? Like, what are your chances of ringing this up for eagle some year?
Non-existent. Basically non-existent. I mean, on the draw, you can get to the basket or anywhere near putting range, and then throwing it in, it's mostly a blind upshot. This is, oh, look, it's Jan Bess caddying for me. That's amazing.
Clearly, he's doing a good job. You're only one behind Kevin.
And I'm about to part this one. Yes. I loved that P2. I don't remember where I lost it.
I was just going to ask, do you still have it?
Nope. I'm very positive I have 0 of the discs that I was throwing back then.
Ricky came up short. He's got some wind to deal with along with the rest of the shrubbery there.
At this point, Rick knows he's got to run.
Yeah, he knows he needed that one.
Great putt. Might be our first star frame.
Nope.
Oh,
you
God,
totally just
Kevin.
star framed Jones.
Yeah,
I think
he
he heard
him.
you.
I might have.
Oh, see, Double G heard you.
Yeah,
he
Double
looked
G
up.
was so mad at you.
He's like, is that Simon over there talking again?
Woo, that almost wanted to come back out. Wow, so Ricky and me with the birdies, and we have a lead. I'm excited. I had no clue that I was going to be in contention here, so
Either did we.
None of us
let's
did,
keep
honestly.
it rolling.
Hole 12, the par 4, with a dangerous green that's on the hillside, and then having huge long bombing tee shot is obviously sometimes more of an advantage than others. But this one, you want to push as far up that hill as you can, don't you?
Yeah, with the right wind, sometimes you have a tailwind on this hole, and I mean, there's a handful of guys that can get into putting range here. Obviously, we kind of just aim for that big bushy tree on top of that hill and hope we miss it. But even if you throw into it, it's still pretty much an easy pitch out for a birdie. But this is one of the funnest tee shots on the course because you can just completely unleash, which is pretty rare on the Pro Tour, that you have a hole that is just unleash and it doesn't really matter where you throw it as long as you keep it kind of straight. But Kevin's throwing pretty conservative on like little hyzer flip lines.
Looks like Kevin's going to go on the other side.
That's a crush, though. He's halfway up that hill. He's going to have a little sidearm or a putter up shot.
Double G assessing the wind. And speaking of assessments, after this hole, we're going to come back to the studio. We're hearing, I just got in my ear, there's actually a possible backup on hole 13. So we'll come back to the studio here after this hole.
It'd be a good time for us to give away another gift certificate.
I like that.
I like during backups we're able to give back.
Oh, and what looks like a really good shot by Ricky, and that's so tough because you're really just throwing to a spot. I mean, you can't see the basket from where Ricky is. Is that right, Simon?
Yeah, completely blind up shot. If you can see the basket on your second shot, you know that you threw an incredible drive. But this is all about touch. Super slopey. Kind of makes the decision if to run a putt or not pretty easy because it's so dangerous. But I had a jump putt here, and I had a jump putt for 2. Man, I should remember these things.
A dangerous putt for Kevin because if he doesn't commit, he can easily hit and roll back down the hill.
He's running this. This is to put the pressure on me.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, Kevin's parked for 3, so well, how far is this? 20-footer? This should be a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, another birdie, and Lizotte takes the lead. Wow.
Rick's lining up for birdie. Trying to keep the pressure on. Yeah, he answers.
Easy birdie. Easy birdie for Rick and Garrett. And Kevin taking a par after 12 holes. Wait.
Kevin, we'll give you... Yeah,
after 12 holes, Simon and Kevin are both tied at 7 under par. Ricky is at 4 under par, and Double G is at 2 under par. Double G really needs to kick it into gear if he wants a chance at this title.
Yeah, would you, during a backup or during this backup, is there anything that you guys are talking about or any kind of secrets or comparisons or things you're sharing among one another?
It's pretty much busting out your snacks and see who has the best snack game in the game, which is usually me, with some M&Ms.
Ooh.
M&Ms plus beef jerky. It's like magical.
Is it the sweet salty combo, or are they just individually just so great it doesn't matter if they're together? What's the secret? What's the logic behind that?
Sweet and salty goes great together, and dried meat, maybe even like a teriyaki twist to it, plus peanut and chocolate. Yes.
Well, and of course, I'm sure you got it from Double G during the round because he's, a big beef jerky producer. He makes a lot of it. He's always got it with him on tour. So this is, do you remember which flavor it was with Double G that round?
Nope.
Well, here's what we need to do. We need to give away another gift certificate because we have a backup on hole 13 here.
Okay.
So this is a first time for us doing the remix. We're always looking for sponsors for things like this. So let's everybody type into the board Discmania.
Ooh, wow, that's a bold move.
Yeah, we're going to go with Discmania. So
we're calling them out again?
Well, just a little bit. It's one step short of having them type in UC. We're going with Discmania. Please type that into the chat board, and we will pick a winner from that in just a few moments.
All right, and then someone will be able to take an Infinite Disc gift certificate code, take it over to our friends over at Infinite Disc, and then pick up some discs.
A $15 gift certificate is what we're giving away.
All right, and that will make you eligible obviously you could pick up a driver, you could pick up, get your start on your own putter collection, or maybe apply it toward a new basket that you need, whatever the case might be. Wow. Okay. So apparently our chat board doesn't love that term as much.
That's fine. I'm seeing most of them come in. So if
All
Terry,
right.
if you can hit show on some of those on the board.
Okay. Webb Warren, Smashy coming in from Florida. Love seeing all these names. Thank you guys so much. Most of you, if not all of you, should have received your Patreon disc. So that's another way I know so many of you have supported us throughout the years. See Disc Golf Comedy out there on the board, along with P. Hamill. I think I drove by P. Hamill's house on the way to get here today. Hope you're all doing well.
And I want to remind everybody that we are going to give away a 5-pack of putters. Whatever putter of your choice, we will order them from Infinite Discs, and we'll have them delivered to your house. We're going to do that at the end for anyone that does a super chat. And it's like we'll consider it $1 per entry. So
Okay.
if you're looking at doing that, we'll figure all that out at the end of the tournament, and the winner will get a 5-pack of their favorite putter, so you can be as good of a putter as Simon Lizotte is in this video. That's what we do.
Yeah, and quick disclaimer, you may putt with hands-on or chains AVRs from the 90s. I'm not going to promise you we're going to be sending you a 5-pack of those.
From Infinite Disc, whatever Infinite Discs will sell you. If they will sell you 5 old 1992 hands-on putters, I still won't get them for you because it'd be too expensive. So we're looking at some modern putters.
Yeah. Simon, this is a good time to ask you, what's the most expensive disc that, we're talking about collectibles, but what do you feel like is the most expensive disc you've thrown? Where it's like, it's worth a ton of money, but you threw it anyway.
Man, I'm not sure. Right. I think I've thrown basically every disc that I've ever owned, which is not much. I know that first run PDs go for it quite a bit. Like I've seen a couple go for $100.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a lot or not in the collector's market. Probably not really.
Yeah, I mean I think somebody, if they spent $100 on a disc, you wouldn't expect that the next day they're out throwing it. So I would say that counts. But PDs, first run PDs, you think is probably the most expensive?
I was throwing some lightweight Innova Lynxes to do some MTA and throw run catch records back in the day. I think those go for a lot as well in the collector's market because that mold was destroyed and can never be recreated.
Wow.
Is what I've heard. The Innova Lynx. It's one of the coolest discs. It's like a Condo or just different. I'm sure you know what it is.
You have a few Lynx yourself.
I do. I will never forget back when I was like 15 or 16 playing a course, and the one course that I really knew about at the time, and there was a hole that was blind uphill, and it kind of banked a little bit to the right, or dog leg to the right. And I remember reading the charts and be like, this disc says it goes to the right. Okay, well, I clearly can't get this 200-foot or otherwise. So with a 10-foot, turn to the right.
Nobody
so
had
I
heard
to
of
buy
a
a
forehand.
Lynx.
Nobody had heard of a forehand back then.
Yeah, no, nobody was throwing forehands in the mid-90s unless your name was Scott Stokely. So I bought a Lynx, and I mean, they're like this big. I mean, they're huge. And I still own it. It's in storage, the storage you visited somewhere.
That's great. Simon, it looks like Simon has frozen up on our thing. So,
At least-
Simon, if you can hear us, you might need to refresh your browser.
It's a beautiful freeze, though.
It is. He's
that's
pondering.
That is genuinely the most flattering freeze that we've ever seen, because typically they're not. But Simon Lizotte, maybe we could we'll see if we can get him back in a moment. And if we need to cut to us, we can do so.
We can do the giveaway. I did a nice little random on the Discmania word, and our winner is Steve Hegel, Hegele. So Steve Hegel, please reach out to Terry or myself on Facebook. Just message us. If you're not on Facebook, it's John at SmashBoxxTV or Terry at ProDiscGolfer.com. Find a way to reach out to us. We will get you your $15 Infinite Discs gift certificate, and we'll make sure that happens.
Yeah. All right. We'll see if we can get Simon unfrozen here in just a moment. It looks like he probably has to reset possibly his phone and or something on his computer before we can get things going. And thank God we got this huge backup.
Always the backup at 13. I don't
is.
understand it, but
yeah, it is. And this time, this backup turned out to be just perfectly timed. Normally we don't necessarily know for sure where they're going to be and how much they're going to halt our live broadcast. But in this case, it seems to work out just fine. And we see the super chats continue to roll in from so many of you. We appreciate it. Tom, Keith, David. David, that is a question I will ask Simon before the day's over as to what his disc of the day is, and maybe we can do that in our post-round show. But that's something I certainly wanted to ask him.
Well, how do you feel like this round is going so far? As far as not only just the play,
I mean, because I think Kevin and Simon.
They're shooting very well right now. But how do you feel like the flow of the round is going? How do you feel like the flow of the of the editing is going so far?
It's been great. It definitely. Not having these them walking, of course, down the fairways or working with any of the commercials that we typically see has sped things up considerably. And again, some people, it's still weird to see someone tapping out in long sleeves with a blustery wind in their face, and on the very next hole they're in sunny temperatures or sunny skies with short sleeves. But I think everyone has pretty much caught the gist of it thus far. So I'm enjoying it. And it is really funny because in any post-production situation, what this kind of feels like, you know the outcome. 9 out of 10 times or 99 out of 100 times, you're going to know the outcome. And here, just all three of us involved, Simon, Johnny, and myself, have no idea how things are going to shake out. So, and we don't know. Someone like Ricky could light things up in the last half of this round, and could still take this thing down. So anything could happen. All right, we're waiting on Simon, I believe, still.
Yep, once Simon, he's going to have to just refresh his browser at some point or reconnect, depending on what's going on with his system on his side. We'll make sure to get that.
And we can't say it enough. We love Jeff asking, when does the FPO card tee off? Unfortunately, the FPO, due to the quarantine, is not participating this afternoon. So they're not out there playing this round. But we're going to continue to look through the archives. Johnny V did all of the legwork to make this happen, so huge shout out to him to go through the rounds. We know next week, as early as next week, we may even see some form of a glass blown open taking place. Those last few years we've gone from Jonesboro over to the glass blown open. That may continue this year. We're talking to the guys over there, and that's obviously one of our favorite events to be at and to be part of. So we'll see how that could possibly work out even for next weekend.
Simon had to take it's a long round. He had to run to the restroom. So we're glad to have you back, Simon.
I wish I could explain what happened, but I have no clue.
Well, for once, Simon, this just proves your good looks and your good luck. 99 out of 100 times when a screen freezes up, someone's in a weird or awkward or compromising type face or position, and instead for you, it was this glorious smile on your face looking like you were posing for us. So nice work.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a beautiful smile.
Looks like you're ready for the last 6 holes. You've got a little work to do. We ready to get back to the action?
Man, this Wi-Fi is bad. I'm sorry, but yes, let's do it.
All right.
All right, we head over to hole number 13, 353 uphill. You can, if you're as tall as you or Germ, can you see the top of the basket when you're standing on the tee?
No. This is another complete blind shot. A really weird hole that there's a sneaky sidearm gap to the left of that first tree you can see there, but I don't think any of us are going to go for that. It's a low line power hyzer. So you want to throw a fast, not too overstable disc because you want it to kind of like flip to flat and then ride up that hill and get a skip out of it. And that looked like a good shot. You want to keep this one as tight to that first tree as you can without risking hitting it.
This is a really tough hole for our cameramen to cover.
Yeah, because you're just standing up at the catch and you're not necessarily sure when that disc is going to come and crest the hill. And so being able to get the catch on this can be a little bit challenging. Simon's trying to go as tight to that tree as possible.
Yeah, that looked to be really good. I don't know if I hit something late or hit something there, but Ricky's actually going for that sidearm gap. Oh, I hit the ground.
I don't want to accuse you of you not having enough power, but looked like, a little short.
It happens.
And Rick's got a lunging jumper.
Not a bad run, but I'm still confused about Kevin's last birdie. I thought he took a par, but I guess it was a birdie. So we're tied at 7 under. Ricky's under the basket for par. Kevin not in ideal position here.
Well, if there's a scoring
So I'm
discrepancy,
looking-
we can go back and check, and we can penalize him 2 strokes.
Yeah.
Right.
UDisc servers were down this weekend, so we can.
Because this is live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. And for birdie. Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's what we said.
Yes.
The editor who was like, "What?"
I just noticed I've never commentated on live on myself.
Well, yeah, that might be tough.
Were you the only birdie there, Simon, or was
Yes.
Double G for birdie, or no?
Double G was for birdie.
Double G was for birdie? All right, I'll give him that birdie then.
Oh wait, you're doing scores live.
I am. I have a
Oh.
button. I have a button here that I push when someone has a birdie or a bogey. I just mentioned to the chat. I said, "Can someone go
Oh.
back in 12?" So someone's saying Kevin did take a par on hole 12, so we might have to take that stroke away from him.
That's what I thought because I was confused.
All right, so you have a 2-stroke lead right now.
Yeah.
Don't
And
screw
one
this
of the
up.
coolest holes. One of the coolest holes that is treacherous, but so fun to throw. Unless you have a super strong headwind, then it gets very nerve-wracking. But you got to clear the OB, and Kevin might have shanked that OB.
Yeah,
Is that OB? Did we get a graphic?
I don't believe it's OB over there.
Okay, but it's a really cool downhill shot, looking over one of the maybe the highest spot of the course. So throwing downhill is always a blast. Ricky having the nicest weather. That looks real good.
Nestles up pretty just outside the circle, it looks like. Maybe just inside.
See, the wind's picked up for Double G. He did lose his COVID-19 mask.
It's really brave of these players to go out in this type of pandemic
Yes.
for our pleasure.
Wow. That was an ace run. Why are the graphics? Oh, it goes back and forth. 520-foot ace run. Pretty sweet. But he's now 30 feet long of the basket. Wait, was that Kevin Jones?
Kevin Jones just dropped in a birdie. He's chasing you.
Incredible.
Oh my God.
Jones answers. You know, when strokes are just going in left and right and he's getting them taken away, he wants them right back. And Kevin takes control of the situation. And what are you thinking about here, Simon?
I'm clearly not too happy with where my tee shot landed there. Looking if I should give it a sidearm run or a little backhand turnover putt, or just lay it up like I learned from my mentors to play smart.
Yeah, it really seems to be the core of your game is lay up and play smart whenever you can.
Oh, I remember what happened on the next hole one of the years. So, oh my God, we'll see.
And Double G.
Nice putt, Garrett.
Yeah, that had to sting a little bit more knowing you had to lay up. Double G's canning the birdie, and you're just really trying to keep things together.
So that's 3 birdies, and I take a par. It's a well-played hole there by the REMIX card, and hole 15 is the easiest hole on the course. It's a hyzer that anyone can throw basically with any disc out of their bag, and it's all about just dealing with the pressure of having this hole that is like a must birdie.
And
This
now,
is really just a big hyzer for all
yeah,
of
I
these
was just going to
players.
say, now the only thing you're worried about really is the slope of the green maybe, and you're just trying to come in flat, Simon?
I'm not too worried about anything on this hole besides, I don't even know. I throw a driver on this hole a lot of players choose a mid-range to have like land a bit softer and straighter, but I just throw a driver and try to spike it in. Ricky might be even throwing a putter here. Is that a harp? I don't know.
Wow, hits the bottom of the lock.
What a beautiful shot.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. White shirt and blue pants, you know what this means.
Boom!
Wow.
Johnny, is that random? Come on.
It truly was random.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
You've hit the -10 zone, and our graphics are having a problem.
Wow, what a great way to play this hole. I remember that was one of the earlier run swirly FD3s, and I was shocked that that went in because it came in so fast. And Kevin's so impressed by that hole-in-one, he misses his birdie putt.
Yeah, you clearly ran up very quickly and already cleared the basket. And Kevin not able to take the birdie. Double G's feeling a little bit of pressure here after watching you ace. Nice. So
Nice
Double
putt.
G will
Try and keep
move
pace.
to 5 under.
Hey, what a sick ace. To this day, this is my only hole-in-one in a tournament in the USA, by the way.
Wow, remix. Bringing it to you guys.
Honestly, truly random.
All right, hole 16 has been a real round breaker, a real heartbreaker for many years for many players. And, of course, you have the honors here as we move over to hole number 16.
Change my hole-in-one outfit real quick because that all the luck was used with that outfit.
Yeah, you signed the shirt. I think you gave it to a fan.
Exactly. I do that after all my aces.
After all your aces in the U.S.
Yep.
And
Ricky back on Team Innova.
You know, after that's the way he played, they dropped him, and thankfully he started to pick it back up. So they were like, you know, maybe we were a little hasty.
We'll give you another chance.
Yeah, after back-to-back birdies, Innova was, okay, here you go.
And in all seriousness, this is kind of fun in that so many sponsors from the Pro Tour and from the players and from various T-signs and whatnot, like, we appreciate everybody. You're getting a little extra shout-out or love here and there. We're good with that, and we're super happy about it. And that goes for all of the sponsors. No matter if you were a 1-year or a 5-year sponsor, we all appreciate it. So we love seeing all of the contributions out there.
To give a little behind the scenes, Simon, I believe I only had 3 rounds to choose from your different shots. So you had a 1 in 3 chance of getting that ace on camera. And I was very excited to see it actually pop up when I edited this.
That's usually my ace odds anyway, so it's pretty accurate.
1 in 3. Yep. And Rick, who's somewhat...
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
That might put Ricky completely out of the run for the lead here with only 2 holes to play after this. 4 strokes behind me. I'm in a good position there. And Garrett crushing one of the favorite shots to throw, high, spike hyzer. And this is a par 5, so was this a par 5 every year? I think it was.
I think so. I don't believe the pars or the distances have changed that much throughout the years.
No. So Kevin's tee shot looks like it went too far. And then you're in these woods, which can make it a bit tricky. He's debating a layup here.
Yeah, he's not in a position where it looks like he can really get over the water. And
oh, he's going for it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That was a do or die situation, and it looked like he died. What am I doing here?
Oh, well, I mean, you see blood in the water. You're going after him.
Smart, playing to the safe side of the basket. I know Kevin's already in the water, so...
Yeah, I mean, this round really feels like a chess match. You know, you guys, just the way you're battling back and forth with one another.
Yeah. It's it's crazy. We're really playing each other, not just the course.
Mm-hmm.
How much smack talk is going on right now in this card?
Years worth of smash talk. Smash talk? Smack talk.
As a great approach shot there by Kevin. And after double G is what he's cleared in 2.
This is for Eagle.
And
oh, he was smiling at his caddy. He knew he was on a layup.
Yeah, just taking a page right out of your book.
But I might run this.
Yeah, I mean, you have pretty much the same putt from the same distance.
Little breezy, but oh, wait. Uh-oh.
Are you feeling the pressure now?
I feel memories. Oh my God.
I'm so sorry, Simon.
There's a 1 in 3 chance you 4-putt.
Just like your ace odds.
I didn't know this was coming at all. I didn't know.
The basket didn't see you coming either, apparently.
I don't think the suffering is over yet.
It's not.
Oh boy.
I was so happy to get the ace in, and then when I pulled this one, I was like, oh, he's coming back to earth.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
Johnny,
with
have you been
the
counting all
lead.
those strokes?
Oh, that's a par for Ricky, I believe.
This is not over. Simon, you had such a lead.
Double G with the birdie.
Yep.
Oh, that already looked stupid without
Oh.
having the lead, but with the lead, it's even worse.
How do you follow an ace up like that, Simon?
Was that a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That was a bogey, thankfully.
6.
Yeah, just a bogey.
Only a bogey.
Oh my goodness,
What was-
Simon.
The other
But
guys in
going
the
from
card.
putting for eagle to bogey?
I hate when that happens.
Hole 17. We got 2 holes to go for these guys to catch you. I mean, you're letting them, but we'll see.
Anything can happen in double G. Oh, wow, a little love? Maybe off a fence post or something? Keeps him in bounds.
Great break there. The fence all along the left side plays OB. I don't think there's any Mandos here, so you can basically throw it wherever you want to. I actually tried to play last year where I just shank it into the woods as hard as I can on the right and hope for a scramble birdie from the woods, which I actually did. But because this layup play is very difficult, that one might be perfect or it might be pinched off a bit. But I think here I was playing... Wait, do I have the only triple Mando here?
Yeah, they figured you couldn't hit a line from the last hole, so we had to put up a triple Mando to kind of force your shot.
I didn't even realize that. That's great.
So a little bit constricted. Oh, no.
Oh, that was so unlucky. That was going to be really good, but now I'm way short. Oh, yeah, Ricky's also short, so he has a really tough shot here.
And it looks like our viewership is gaining. Everybody wants to see the exciting conclusion here.
As we normally notice with live broadcasts, towards the end of the round,
Yep,
the
numbers,
viewership goes up.
Especially in a tight battle. Everyone heard of the ace.
That was a sick ace, actually.
And
Ricky trying to squeeze every little inch he can. Ricky's only chance is going birdie birdie. And that's a chance. Not a great chance. But I'm in a worse spot than Ricky, and what am I throwing here? Something overstable, I think, to turn it over extremely and have it flex back.
It was rude of them to erect the triple Mando, but right before you threw.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and you don't make it out. You're still on the hillside there, so you're going to have a long putt. Kevin is in pretty good position here.
Yeah, if Kevin puts this close, it all
doesn't.
comes down to the last hole. Nope.
Gotta make sure we got that one dialed in for sure. All right, so Double G, who gets a little bit of love. Just a few strokes off the pace. He's able to pull it off the fence there. And that's a beautiful shot by Double G.
With a Sonic, and he looked away from that shot within seconds, so he knew it was perfect. That's one of the best feelings in disc golf, where you just don't even have to watch because you know it's perfect. Kevin tapping par. I have a 2-stroke lead here, so I better just lay it up. It looks like I'm running this. Uh-oh. Oh, half run. Okay.
Not too bad, as our cameraman Todd from Birdie Disc Golf was just earlier today giving away some cards of the Birdie pack.
Did I win?
I did not see.
I didn't look.
But he had to rush back out and get the end of this round on camera.
Oh, smart play. Laying up.
Yeah, Simon, at this point, are you thinking about what kind of payout is on the line? And what it would be like to be the REMIX champion?
I'm definitely still waiting on the call what I will earn here.
Yeah, someone suggested that there should be sponsorship bonuses. I would definitely talk to UC about that.
I'm sure this is the right time.
Did anybody birdie that?
I don't know.
I think Double G did.
Yes, he had the easy tap.
Double G got a birdie.
And talk about how hard hole 18 is as a finishing hole to this course.
Yeah, hole 18, anything can happen really. Super dependent on the wind on what is options to throw here. I like the wide hyzer. I don't know if any year they had a Mando. I don't think so, but basically you can throw a wide spike hyzer. You need a lot of power for that. Uh-oh. I was hanging here for a sec, but I'm back on, I think. So, yeah, Ricky's going for the hyzer. You can go straight down the gap. This is a par 5, which is a true par 5. Getting a 4 here is a lot of great shots. No, wait. It's a par 4.
It's a par 4.
Why did I think it was a par 5?
Because it's really tough.
Did they ever call this a par 5? Is that possible? I don't know.
Even in the first year, this was not considered. Wow. It is definitely one of the most difficult par 4s that we find out here on the course.
Okay, sorry, I take it back. What I meant was it's a par 4 and the hardest par 4, because a 3 is incredible. A 4 is totally good, but if you want a 3, you need 2 absolutely magnificent shots. James Conrad.
Yeah, he was done, so he came back and wanted to watch the last hole with you guys.
I believe he was in 5th place at the time.
Yeah.
So he was there to work you.
And that looks to be a pretty good shot.
That has to be the best shot I've ever thrown in that hole. Wow, that was a confident stroke with that lead.
Yeah, you must really be feeling it right now.
You're known for your mental game.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
We tell all our guests.
And wow, double. I mean, right now, Double G is thinking not only does he have to, perform something miraculous, but he's going to need a little bit of a slip up by you. Yeah, he's asking where you're at right now. I don't know if you can hear that. He's saying, "Where's Simon?"
He checked the REMIX scores.
Yep.
Yeah, the greatest thing is that I don't remember whatsoever what I'm going to do next, but I'm in a good spot to just be smart, lay up for par, because unless someone throws it in, no one can catch me.
Yeah, and Double G's chances of winning seem to be squashed right there as he hits early. At best, he's going to be getting up and down for the par. Kevin trying to work with his footing. Pretty okay approach shot from where he was.
And Ricky can still get second place if he plays this right.
Well, we've seen you putt. He could still take first.
Theoretically, yes. This is the prime position, though, and the wind looked like it was pushing right to left as well. inbounds, and that is inside circle one, putting for birdie with a 2-stroke lead. I don't think I can let this one slip.
Now, chances are looking pretty good for you. The sun's popping out here for Kevin on the final few shots.
Ricky's going to have to run this and hope you miss an easy shot.
Yeah, I mean, you have one Pro Tour win under your belt at Ledgestone at this point, Simon. So what does it feel like, thinking you're looking to secure your second victory?
Should I correct you there or no? Because that was incorrect what you said.
Okay, how many, you have two? What other? You've won other stuff?
No, when I won Ledgestone, it was a national tour, and Memorial is my Pro Tour win.
Oh, correct. Okay, yeah. What do I know? I'm it's remixed in my head.
Yeah, but no, I have one Pro Tour, one national tour, one World Tour, and a couple A tiers, and obviously a bunch of B tiers and C tiers. But the major is the one that I'm missing. Ricky tapping in for par.
Yeah,
and I'm asking,
are you thinking about laying this up at all?
Well, it looked like you were a little
Clearly.
ticked off that you weren't getting the honors of being able to putt out last. That's what it looked like.
Man, I had no clue I've ever birdied this hole. That was great to watch. And for the win,
Yeah.
Kevin, home crowd,
That is
tapping
clutch.
par. And it looks like we have a tie for second.
Well, good thing there's no playoffs for second.
And there you have it. So, wow, congratulations, Simon. Coming into this weekend, there was a lot of prep by these players, and I guess I'd like to ask you, how do you stay on top of all the different shots that are required out at this course?
Well, first off, this was not a setup, right? That was
No,
random, and I won.
I want to swear up and down to whatever god or family that I have that this
Family.
or family. This was not a setup by any means. I truly went to random.org. I can show you the spreadsheet of the random holes that I generated. I can probably pull that up right here somehow.
Don't take that out of context, anyone.
Yep. So there's literally a Lizotte, a Wysocki, a Gurthie. These are all random rounds that I pulled just to make sure. And I imported them in. I cut them in. I didn't keep track of the score because I didn't want to ruin it. It's hard to not ruin. I knew your ace was coming, and I knew that the 4-putt was coming. But to be honest, I honestly thought Ricky was going to win.
Ooh.
That's what I would have thought, is that Ricky won because, he had so many rounds on there, so it probably made it harder for him to cherry pick the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I always knew I had it in me on that course to throw a good round if I just combined all these years and rounds.
Yeah, had you not
I think
had
that's
that
most
bogey,
of my tournament.
Without that bogey on 15, and so much that could have went so much better.
Yeah, I know, but
Is this something you're going to brag about on tour?
That I won the first SmashBox remix round of all time?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. When we finally do kick back in, the very first group I want you to walk up on, I believe the next big event will probably be Portland is what we're talking. If you're in Portland, I definitely want you to just stop the group before you play hole one and say, listen, guys, I'm the only one with a win during COVID.
Yeah. Now, I'll follow that up by asking, typically every Tuesday we have the winner from the previous weekend. I don't know if this means we have to have you on again on Tuesday night, but this was a pretty big win. You probably didn't see it coming, did you?
I think it's going to be my new Instagram profile status.
All right. On a few other serious notes before we wrap up, everybody always wants to know, you've got this great talking point. What is the disc of the day on the wall there?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even prepare that. This is a stock MD2 for absolutely no reason. I love it.
All right. So, of course, it was asked earlier what it was. Kind of the funny story behind that, the disc of the day, which I think you shared with us on SmashBox a few weeks ago is you just randomly throw a disc up there every day, right? Like there's not like an official reason or thought process to it.
I mean, the thought process behind it is that there's no thought process to it. So there is kind of one.
Okay, that's so meta or something. I don't know.
I do want to say right
This
away.
should be the disc of the day.
What is that? Tell us about it.
I can't tell you.
Oh, it's a secret
Ooh,
disc.
Smashbox exclusives only here for the post-game interviews.
I want everybody in the chat that's listening right now, we're going to do one more free giveaway for all of our viewers. We have a third $15 gift certificate to Infinite Discs. I want you to type in the word winner, WINNER, winner. And in a couple minutes, we'll pick another winner for that. And then after that, I'm going to take some time and get the super chats all in order. So you've got about maybe 2 more minutes to get your super chat in for the 5-pack of putters we're going to give away tonight.
Absolutely. So, yes, anytime you super chat, roughly, or every dollar that is super chatted will essentially count as a single unofficial yet official sort of kind of lottery ticket entry. So if you were to type in $150, you'd have 150 chances, as we're watching the board light up right now with everyone typing in the word winner. Simon, right now the hope is that Jonesboro is genuinely just being postponed, as it has not been canceled. It's on the list of being postponed. How excited are you? Do you really enjoy that course? Would you be okay if you didn't get to play it in 2020? Like, kind of what are your takeaways on the disc side of heaven down in Jonesboro?
The course itself is a complete blast and pleasure to play. I mean, I wish disc golf had like some kind of standard like that.
Okay. Yeah, just meaning that.
Am I all choppy?
No, you were a little
right.
choppy. You're okay now.
You're fine though.
And when you say a standard like that, is it the variety of shots? Is it the elevation? Is it the great tee pads? What is it out there when you talk about the disc side of heaven standards?
It's just such a cool property, and it's maintained nicely for us. It's disc golf only. Like, there's no other random people out there. It's not actually a golf course or anything else. It's a disc golf course, and it's great for it. The rolling hills, just the beauty of the land. And I mean, you could put a tee pad and a basket anywhere in that area, and you could make a cool disc golf course, basically. And I think whoever designed that for the Pro Tour has done a pretty good job. And I was definitely really looking forward to that event, obviously. And I know I feel so bad for the TD and everyone involved, especially for that tournament, because last year they had this huge storm and had to cancel a round and then tee off early the next morning. And the year before it snowed or something, and the TD was just like, man, I can never get a break with this tournament. And now this, so I feel bad, and I just hope the best for all those guys.
Yeah, huge shout out to Brad Peets. This year, I believe Plating in Sports is one of the main presenting sponsors. And so huge shout out to Brad. We know he works so hard and has always been so willing to do whatever it takes to make the best possible event on the best possible course that he can do out there. And I was part of some of the conversations when he was talking to Steve Dodge about getting on the tour, and then just interacting and talking with him at a really personal level. His heart and soul is in this course and in this event. So that really backs up and echoes everything you were just saying, Simon. Just a tremendous gentleman and a great piece of property, and we hope that we can all be back there. I think a little tip, if I recall, I think at one point they maybe even solicited advice from Drew Gibson to come out there. Does that ring a bell from a few years ago? I don't want to give Drew too much credit here, but I think they brought him out there a few years ago, maybe as the course was still in somewhat of development mode, maybe a year before it got on the tour. And if I recall from way back then, Drew had some input on that. So he goes from course designer to smashing TVs. I don't know what he doesn't do.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Avery Jenkins was planning to play that event this year. That was one of the few events Avery was signed up for.
Hmm.
And you know, Avery has played over 1,000 courses and one of the most traveled disc golfer in the world. If he chooses to play that course in that tournament, that's for a reason, and that just shows that yeah, it's just an awesome place.
Yeah, certainly. So, best of luck to them, and hopefully, so many of these events that have worked so hard can find their way either with some kind of representation here in 2020. I know it's going to be kind of an odd year, no matter how it moves forward, but where everyone's going to continue to do their best. And just a day or two ago, we saw the official announcement from the PDGA. So to kind of timestamp this, it was just yesterday. Before you went out for this final round, it was just yesterday they said that we're not going to see any other golf happening for a few months now. How did that feel for you?
Yeah, actually, Eagle McMahon called me yesterday randomly. He like never calls me, so I was like, "What is going on?" If he calls me, it's something serious. And he was like, "Did you read the email? Like, PDGA majors and NT suspended through July 31st, and everything else no sanctioning through May 31st." So like he just asked like, "What do we do now?" Like it's official that we have another 3 or 4 months. Was that right, math? 2 or 3 months of nothing to do really. And I was like, Brody has been contacting me, and obviously we're talking with Paul Macbeth, kind of Paige Pierce, everyone who's getting involved in this YouTube thing, and we want to create something for the fans, for our channels to like grow on YouTube, something to do. We haven't really decided yet what it's going to be, but I was like, Eagle, you have to come in on that. Start your YouTube channel again because it's maybe like the only thing we can do right now from home.
Yeah, and Luke from Australia. And Luke, I already know you're in a really awkward position because you're ahead of the rest of the world. He wants to know what the rule is for spoilers on remix tournaments. Can I post the results everywhere?
I would hold off on that, Luke. I mean, you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I mean, especially with you being in Australia. I mean, like, by the time it gets here.
You know who is that guy? Aaron Palm. Aaron Palm is the winner of our final gift certificate. Do you know Aaron Palm?
Aaron and Beth coming out of Minnesota. They probably went and played at Kale's place today.
Oh, Kale's opening up that new one. What, May 1st? Is that when?
No, today.
Oh, it was today. Okay. Yeah. So congratulations, Aaron Palm. Go ahead and reach out to Terry or myself on Facebook or social media or any which way you have access to us, and we will make sure that you get that $15 Infinite Discs gift certificate. Shout out to skipace.com, the guy that runs it, the fantasy disc golf site. When tournaments do start up, we will kick back into gear. Actually, we took a little time during this offseason, offseason 2.0, and did one or two more little upgrades for sorting, and like all those little columns are clickable now, so you can click on them and sort them in the standings for your fantasy disc golf. So if you happen to play, it wasn't available, fantasy disc golf for or for Jonesboro Remix, I hope you picked Simon, Ricky, Double G, and and Kevin Jones. You'd had a great weekend.
Yeah, we'll have to integrate maybe next remix, which could be as early as next weekend, possibly. When the next remix happens, maybe we'll have to integrate Skip Ace and have you guys go out and pick your best players. I don't know. All right, Simon. I'm sure they're going to want to know what's your next planned video drop. What are we going to see?
Tomorrow, I actually have a really fun video planned for tomorrow. I haven't shot it yet, so I'm actually going to go tomorrow, do the filming, then do the editing, and post it the same day. So it's going to be a busy day tomorrow. It's a fun challenge that I actually saw in one of my comments on my latest video. And that's a great way for the fans to interact and inspire me or give me ideas of what to do next, because I'm not going to lie and say I have endless ideas. I feel sometimes like it's at this point now after 3 weeks just going to the same field. Like there's only so much you can do with one basket and one field. So, but I'm pretty excited for the idea tomorrow, see how it turns out. It's hard to film. It snowed today here. I don't know if I already said that, but it snowed today and it's super windy every day. So it's really hard to get decent audio outside. And the weather has not been very easy to run this YouTube channel, but I'm still trying to keep pace on my every other day posting. and so far so good. So almost at 60,000 subscribers now too. So oh my god, I don't know what to say. It's just amazing.
Well, I hope you
Awesome.
go out there and post make a post on your YouTube about congratulating yourself on your victory today. Make sure everybody knows about it. Can point to you can point to the wonderful video that we've commentated. How did you like commentating live? We've really only done that one other time. In general, even if it was around you new, did you enjoy the format or?
You mean how did I like this right now?
Yeah.
I will say the first 10 minutes, I was not knowing really what was going on. I was definitely not prepared for this. Thank God Terry reminded me that we were doing this earlier, because my mind was just having the laziest Saturday of all time. And I was like, okay, oh my God, we're doing this now. So I was trying to jump in and be ready. But what a crazy concept. I mean, I would have never come up with this idea. I can't imagine going through all the files and cutting it all together. So it was definitely a cool experiment, and I think it was fun to watch. And I'm excited to read some comments of what people thought. And I'm really excited. I hope you do it again, and I will definitely watch and share the next one.
I believe our goal is to do another one in 2 weeks for GBO. GBO is going to be a little bit stranger, and so because they have switched courses so many times that we might literally have to do different holes for hole 1 and hole 2 and hole 3 for each player. It could get a little crazy, and making it all the more fun. I've already kind of specced out, I think we talked about this on the podcast, the players that are going to be in it. It's going to be yourself, Simon, along with
me again.
Yep. You've done pretty well at GBO, so we have
it's all about that lead card.
It's all about being on the lead card, so we have holes to pull in from. Yourself, Macbeth, McMahon, McRae. So I think that's going to be our foursome for GBO. I'm going to start working on it tomorrow to start pulling that footage down and editing it together. I need to create a spreadsheet so I can start doing the random.org method to pull random holes so we can make sure all of this happens. But yeah, I believe you're going to make it. Simon, surprisingly or not, you've been on a lot of lead cards on Smashbox and the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, over the years, I've been on a lot of lead cards. For the last half season, 1.5 seasons, I've been like the chase card guy, which has been annoying me a lot. And I don't know why. I'm always like one stroke off James Conrad on the lead card. It's always the same.
We saw him on hole 18 talking trash.
Yeah, that's.
I know.
He's like, oh, I'm on the chase card today. You're on the lead card. There you go, Simon.
Yeah, it's been super fun, and I mean, oh, I just can't wait for everything to start up. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
Well, I know the fans will be mad. There will not be a fan vote for the next.
Nope, no fan vote.
We're not going to be able to do a fan vote for the GBO remix if it happens. But sounds like we've got a very talented group. And Simon, maybe we'll have to get you in for some post-round interviews. I mean, you may take it down. I mean, anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
If I win that next round again, then this is going to be my new thing, my new career.
the Remix 2020 Tour champion is a title Simon's going after.
You'll get a disc, a trophy. You'll start contacting UC for some bonuses.
Yeah, you'll get the big check from us that says Smashbox, but it'll really just be a gift certificate for SmashBoxxTV store. Yeah, you get that big bonus check.
No, I bet you we can give him a gift certificate to like Applebee's.
Okay. All right, pal. Well, anything else to say before we let you go here today?
No. I'm just going to make sure that whatever the next tournament is we play, and if there's an announcer at T-Box 1 announcing our names and our titles, that the Remix champion is one of my new titles. And
yes!
I'm honestly stoked that I won that round. I had no idea, and it was fun to watch, and I can't wait to see the next one.
And I say this again. I swear up and down, I
totally believe you.
I had no clue. It's really easy to edit this footage and not know who has what score when you're just chopping and throwing it together.
Just not
Yeah, it
Ricky's
took me
day.
half the round to realize you're doing the scores live. I thought it was part of the graphics.
No,
So I was like, how did you not know?
No, I literally created buttons so I wouldn't know, because I think that's part of the fun, is that I definitely I had debated whether I was going to know to do scoring or whether or not I was going to tell Terry or our host, and I thought, you know what? I want to keep it as random and quiet as I can. The only thing I knew, like I said, is that you had an ace and a 4-putt. That's all I knew.
Which is a perfect, it leveled each other out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Simon, we're going to let you go. We appreciate it. Don't hold your breath on this Tuesday night, but maybe we'll get you in on it. I don't know. It was great to have you today, and I know the fans loved and enjoyed it. So we're going to have a final
Paul
giveaway.
Get Paul McBeth on. I want to know what he's up to.
Yeah, well, we might have to talk to him and see how things shake out for the next remix as you guys go head-to-head along with a couple others.
All right,
guys,
pal. Thank you.
Have a nice night, Simon.
See ya. Appreciate it. Congrats. Simon Lizotte.
I wish we had
champion.
planned it. I wish I was smart enough and we had done enough pre-planning to plan that Simon was going to go out and win while we had him on commentary. But to be honest, if you think about that card, Simon is the obvious answer to have someone commentate on. He is the most gregarious. Yeah. He is the most fan-loved. Not that the other guys, don't have their fan polling, but Simon ultimately is, right now the most popular player probably on the planet. So when we reached out to him, it was honestly before I was even done editing. More than likely, we had just come to him with an idea. So it's huge shout out to Simon Lizotte for sitting through this and working with it. Even if I blew up his brain for the first hole or two, I'm so happy he joined us to do this.
Yeah, rolling with the punches. Now, is this a better reason, or is this any logic behind the idea that they should always wear the exact same outfits every weekend when they play golf?
No, I want them to wear different outfits.
Okay.
It's way easier to decide then. And in fact, if they could switch sponsors every year too, that would be way better.
Yeah. As we said, super great to also see a little love and shout out for all of the sponsors. And I've got nothing to gain by saying this, but it does prove that there is some additional value when you're supporting an event or you're supporting a player, whatever the case might be, or an entire tour. There's sometimes, and not that this is common, but there's some long-standing value to that, because we all know that people are going to watch Jonesboro, any one of the various rounds in live or post. They'll be watching that for years. My number one most viewed video on my YouTube channel for post-production on the Disc Golf Guy is the 2016 Masters Cup.
Really? Oh, I was thinking it was maybe the Memorial.
No, 2016 Masters Cup. And so if you sponsored or a player or a course asset, which weren't as common or popular at that time, the flags and some of the other things that we see out there, some of the placards, there is some value that goes along with having that and the long-standing value. And I think it's great to see when you're looking at footage from 2016 and you see someone's tee sign or usually probably something out on the course, you see it out there, and then you fast forward 3 or 4 or 5 years later and you see them still supporting disc golf. It should kind of sit with you like, holy cow, these guys have been around a long time and they've been supporting disc golf for a long time. And I think that can be said of a lot of the companies out there. So it's really cool and great to see. And thank you to all of the support. Again, we didn't reach out to anyone, including Discmania or anyone else. We didn't reach out to anyone in terms of supporting this. And
we truly didn't know how this was going to work out or go. I mean, I knew we had an edited round, and at that point, I didn't know what the reaction would be from the players. If people would find this way too confusing, or we might wait for next time to do that, or if just anyone had any sort of interest. So we might maybe get some better not better. Well, I guess better than nothing.
Yeah, better than the none we had.
Infinite Discs, thanks a lot for allowing me to reuse some of the gift certificates that were supposed to go out to Skip Ace out to our people right now. And in fact, I think we're about ready to give away our Patreon supporter, or not, I'm sorry, not our Patreon, our Super Chat supporter. Thank you, Terry. Our Super Chat supporter of a 5-pack of your preferred putters. We have, I've got everybody here in a list.
All right. We've taken all of the super chats that came in, and for every dollar that you had super chatted, even if you did it more than once, for every dollar that you super chatted, you were essentially put into the spreadsheet to get one chance per dollar given. So we appreciate that. So many of you guys jumped in on that, all on your own account. As always, we appreciate it, whether it's during one of our live broadcasts that we're putting up on Smashbox, or it's during one of our podcasts, wherever it might be. Anytime you show that love and support, we greatly appreciate it. And tonight's no different. So Johnny has pulled up all the numbers. We're going to do a random.org. Everyone's favorite.
Everybody's favorite.
Except for Ricky. Except for Ricky.
Or Double G, I guess. Honestly, he had that early start of that round was a kind of a string of bad breaks for him, hitting that gap in the hole 7 or 6 when he hit that. I forget the one.
Hole 6.
Hole 6. We're hitting that gap. What an unlucky break. I remember watching that live and just being gutted and like, oh, poor guy. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So I'm going to generate a number here and let you know who the winner is. All right, Terry, the number is 92. We had 227 entrants. So if I go to 92.
Number 92 will be reaching out to get you a 5-pack, and I think
Frank Reynolds. Congratulations, Frank Reynolds. Frank Reynolds, who super chatted $12.
Yeah, he said you can thank the stimulus for that. And I said you were only 2 decimal points off for that. I mean, Frank, if you really wanted to show yourself. No. Yep. No, we do appreciate it, Frank. Thank you so much.
Very much, Frank, for supporting the broadcast. Reach out to us. We will make sure to get you. We will work with probably Infinite Discs to get you a 5-pack of whatever discs, whatever your favorite putter is on that particular website.
Now, that comes with the stipulation that you have to go out and use them and get better before the next tournament.
You have until about July, June, mid-June, something like that. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. Every area is going to be a little bit different.
It's still pushed back. So congratulations, Frank.
Yes. And for those who maybe did or didn't see, yesterday I had a relatively brief interaction. Nate Heinold from the PDGA board. You can go find that on the Disc Golf Guy Facebook page. We kind of break down and talk about the state of where disc golf is. And I just wanted him to elaborate a little bit more on some events that have been postponed officially, some that are being canceled, things like, the Junior World Championships in Emporia is not taking place there this year at any time, just like the Glass Blown is not. But some events are being postponed until a further date. Ones like Am Worlds come to mind. They're hoping to find another date in which to have the Am Worlds in Florida. So
someone on the board says, next time get UDisc for this. To be honest, I know we talked about this on the podcast as well. Tuesday night, every Tuesday night, you can tune in at 9 p.m. Central. We are here. We go for like 3-4 hours. Even during these times, we can always find things to talk about. But I did reach out to UDisc, and they had said, it sounds like a fun idea, but it does take us like 6 hours to get a tournament prepped. And on top of that, there's some issues with it actually interfering with some of the stats we currently have. Like
these are real stats, bro.
These are real stats, honestly. So UDisc had politely and understandably declined to do the live scoring, and I think that's fine because for one of us to sit and try to do circles and stuff like that, it might be a little bit much. I have a button right here that just says birdie, bogey. That I think is going to be good enough, but it would be fun to have the UDisc stats. That really kind of only works for the full live broadcast where we have a lot more time. But shout out to UDisc.
If the remix gets to a full 6 or 8 or 10 events, though,
then we have a tour.
Then we'll have our own tour. Then we may have to.
We'll talk with Matt and Josh about the remix tour, and we'll have a tour champion. It'll be an entire thing.
All right. Well, of course, please let us know, whether it's in the comments or on our Facebook page, what you thought of this, if this is something that you enjoyed. I know we had a pretty good crowd of you guys watching and taking it all in, at least here on YouTube. I'm sure there were others on the other platforms, but we hope that you enjoyed it. If this is something that is worth Johnny V's time, he will look into putting more of it together, and We just hope it's one little way we can all cope with the lack of otherwise live disc golf that's taking place. I can only watch so many of Simon's trick shots too. I mean,
well, not just Simon's, but everybody's. Let's do a 3-foot challenge, and then I'm going to do a 4-foot challenge, and then a 6-foot challenge, and I win because I'm 6'6". So.
I'm going to spoil something quick. Quick shout out. I believe his name is Sean. I apologize if it's not. I think Sean, who's under 12 or so, canned 219 15-footers in a row yesterday on a live stream.
Wow.
Yeah, he's in Malaysia or Singapore. I know I'm kind of butchering all those details, but whatever it was nothing short of amazing. So, and I know he's good and only getting better, but huge shout out. That's how you should be spending your time, folks. Because Johnny V and I
as
are,
we
that's
are,
for sure.
Right? We are. You are.
I haven't touched a disc. I don't even know how.
I did once. It's really difficult to take your basket and like a stack of, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 discs out in the back, and then have your kids come out, because inevitably they want to stand right next to the basket, and you're like, well, I'm not that good. I don't trust myself from 30 feet that I'm not gonna basically knock a tooth
your
out
kid in the head. Yeah.
And so can you please step aside? And then they want to come throw with you, so you kind of have to hand them a few of your discs.
Those kids getting in the way.
Kids getting in the way, but I did bring my basket, one of the original portable baskets out from DGA, and put it in my backyard and threw for a little bit. I bet you I probably threw about 30 putts.
Wow.
in the 2 hours I was out back.
That Advanced Masters Tour, watch out.
Beware.
Coming after you guys. All right, we're going to call it. We have to, of course, thank Infinite Disc. We have to thank the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We have to thank the Jonesboro Open. Thank you guys for providing so much of that entertainment and so many of those fond memories throughout the years, and just setting that stage that now we were able to go back and revisit. Of course, not nearly as good as watching the real thing here this weekend, but
tomorrow, if they want to watch a replay of the 2017, I think they can go to Disc Golf Network if you're a subscriber. I believe they are going to do a rewatch with Ricky Wysocki.
All right, well, there you have it. So you can watch that round again as well. We'll see if his luck's any better for that given round.
I'm thinking it is if they're having him do the rewatch.
All right, for all of those guys, all of those sponsors, and our co-commentator in Simon Lizotte, along with Johnny V and myself, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, we'll see you guys Tuesday night for our regularly scheduled podcast. That'll be podcast 294, and we'll see you then at 9 p.m. Central when you step inside the Smashbox.